Hi, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be reviewing the Gridman and the Samurai Caliber from the modelroid Full Power Gridman model kits. So first and foremost, we will be taking a look at Gridman himself, and he looks pretty good. We do have that nice metallic silver color scheme going on with that nice royal red and little touches of black and little touches of that nice babyish bluish light blue, baby blue. Not quite a baby blue, but it's a pretty light blue, sky blue, whatever blue. Have a little bit of yellow. You have a little bit of yellow in his primal acceptor piece. Here's how he looks from the back. Very nice. We'll be taking a close look at this design. You do get a good bit of nice little greebly details. It's very nice. You get some like lines and patterns throughout the design, which is pretty cool. So starting from the head, that's the head design. You do get a good amount of detail from that head. If we could get closer, upper. This is fine. We do get like some details here indicating like some sort of mouth or something. Here's back of the head. Do get this nice crest piece with some painted parts. Them painted parts being this gold. We have these painted parts being these gold pieces and this little green spot, and this little green light on his forehead. And of course his eyes are painted. They're painted with the black. They have the black paint and they have little bits of yellow for his eyes. This part of the kit contains these two painted parts, but this part of the kit also contains one sticker. That yellow detail in his chest, in the red part of his chest, that's a sticker. This kit contains way more stickers. This guy just used one. Looking throughout the design, you do see that he has some iconic features such as his primal acceptor, which is done in this yellow plastic, which I have done a little bit of weathering on to make it hopefully we can actually see this. Yeah, you can see that I've done just a little bit of weathering on it by rubbing, I've done this by marking it down with a Sharpie, with gray Sharpie, and then rubbing it to a point where it looks kind of weathered, or at least looks closer to the gold on his head. Because without this weathering, this part is just as yellow as this blade. But anyways, do get the rest of But aside from his head, aside from the paint on his head, the sticker on his chest, and the weathering I did on his primal acceptor, everything else has been done via part separation. Everything else is part separated. And the colors do look nice. It has like the most important. It has paint where it's most needed, and that is the head. With, I guess, it and the sticker in that spot, and part separation for everywhere else. There are certain areas where it doesn't have all the colors it should. Like, there are parts of the shoulder pauldrons, such as this area and this area, where they're supposed to be red, and there's also like some areas like this area and this little cap area where it's supposed to be like this blue or some sort of blue. Like small things like that. But overall, the colors have been done pretty nicely, as well as the design. Very nice. Now let's move on to articulation. The head is on a ball joint. Can look all around. Can look down pretty far. Can look up decently enough. Can tilt side to side very well. And is unlimited to do 360 spins. The shoulders, they're on a ball joint, so you do get a little bit of a butterfly joint, and you can rotate them 360, and you can tilt it out just a little bit. You do have some movement in there. We have the shoulder joint, which can move outward, can hinge up that far. We have a bicep swivel. We have a elbow that can bend ridiculously in maximum elbow. Full range of elbow movement. Very nice. And wrist rotation. This version of this particular version of Gridman does kind like assembling it does kind of have them gorilla proportions, but they're easy enough to fix. By rotating the wrists. So you have that going on. The chest has a little bit of a rotation. It's not far, but it's better than nothing. It can only bend up about that far. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. Ball joints at the hips, which means they can go out pretty far. They can go back a great ways. They can rotate all around and spread out and all of that stuff. Spread is slightly restricted due to these black parts on his thighs. Speaking of which, thigh swivel. So he has a 360 thigh swivel. Knee bend. Knee can bend that far. Pretty deep knee bend. And the ankle is on a ball joint. So it can tilt up that far. It can tilt down about that far. It can tilt side to side. and can rotate just a little bit. But the shape of this foot and the ankle slightly restricts the rotation of the foot. So articulation is pretty good. It's like there are better articulated pieces when it comes to Gridman, but this one ain't lacking in art. But this one has a good decent amount of articulation. A good amount of articulation. Let's move on to the accessories. So when you're building it, if you build it standardly, he has his fists already equipped. He does come with a variety of hands. Let's just show you what they are. First, he has these karate chop-esque hands. He has these karate chop-esque hands. So you can recreate certain poses, like fixture beam or something like that. He has splayed open dramatic hands. Splayed out dramatic hands. They're pretty nice. These ones are nicely done. And he also has these hands with these tabs in them. Yeah, he has a pair of these hands with these tabs in the palms. And these are the hands you would use to attach to equip Samurai Caliber with. Now taking a look at, I'll be taking off one of these hands and putting a fist back on. I will leave the other grabby hand, the other grip hand on to show later. But for now, let's take a look at Samurai Caliber. Looking very nice. Samurai Caliber, he looks pretty good. He has a nice, simple yet effective black hilt with a decent grip design. Hilt design. He has these nice green gems up here. He has this whole like black assembly thing with this axe thing attached to it, as well as a nice long yellow blade. Very nice. You do get little panel lines and stuff here and there. Very nice. Stickers. In total, Samurai Caliber you put 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You put 9 stickers on Samurai Caliber in total. And 2 of which are these stickers you put over these areas. They're like these sort of purple, lavenderish purple, sort of lavender color stickers with little hints of yellow for the little details. You do get a couple of these gold lining stickers on the sides here. And these gems, these translucent green gems, behind these, under these green gems, each of these gems, there's a green sticker under them to make them look green in the light, to make them look more green in the light. I do find that to be pretty cool. And it actually is effective. I've actually looked at it. With and without the sticker. In other words, I lightly put this piece over it without the sticker and see, and like compared the two sides. It was noticeably different. I did notice that. You do get this end, which is kind of pointy. Kinda. The edge ain't that sharp at all. Overall, it's a pretty nice sword. This can rotate, but that's like for later, for other purposes. But for now, we can attach this onto Gridman's hand. Samurai Caliber onto Gridman's hand. This attaches via connection. So this connects in a certain way, I think. Yeah, this connects in a certain way. It connects so that you have to orientate it this way. Like this corner that's closest to the edge of the hilt, that is pointed. You have to point that and towards Gridman's fingers, and you could just tap that in. And then there you have Gridman. You have what people call a combination, a combination known as Gridman Caliber. Some people call it a combination. I call it stand up, please. There you have Gridman Caliber, a combination mode, I think. Some people call it a combination mode. I just call it a man holding a sword. You can pose around with this guy, and he can hold it pretty nice. He can hold it pretty nicely, given that you can carefully balance him. Joints wise, he has no problem. Grip and joints wise, he has no problems holding the sword. He has a fine grip on that sword, despite the sword being bigger than he is. However, you do have a 3mm hexagonal holes, both up here and back here. And you also get a little vent and details back there, which is also nice. And with these you can, this is not included, but you can attach this to the back of here. This is a Figma stand. You can get these with pretty much any Figma figure. But anyways, it can just attach onto the back. You can attach it to the butt if you want, but I'm attaching it to the back because just because. And then you can pose Gridman along with Samurai Caliber. And you can pull off some pretty cool poses. Yeah, you can pull off some pretty cool poses with just these two guys alone. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Now, as I said, the sand is not included. But Gridman can be capable of standing up on his own. Kinda. Maybe. Sorta. Yeah, he can stand on his own. Cool. Size comparison wise, this dude is as tall. This dude is from head to toe exactly as tall as Earthrise Cliff Jumper here. Like, look at that. And this dude, he's a smallish deluxe size. This is how he sizes with my Siege Centimus Prime OC. Pretty insane. Pretty insane. This dude, he tiny. Thing is, this dude feels so light. Even with his sword, he feels lighter than Cliff Jumper here. Not indicating that it feels cheap. It definitely doesn't feel that cheap. I'm just saying. He's a tiny light boy. And I've actually done some measurements. The like box arts, like the computer like rendering of the Gridman figure of the Gridman on the side of the box from head to toe is as tall as Siege Spinister right here. Whoop. Sorry about that. But anyways, the box art of the Gridman, the rendering of the Gridman, the green rendering of the Gridman on the box is the size of Spinister right here from head to toe. So there's that comparison. It would be nice to have Gridman like this size. It would be pretty fun. The parts would be nice and big and stuff. I wonder if that will be an option later on in the future, like an oversized version of these modelroid kits where Gridman here is like the size of Spinister right here. That would be nice. Would be really nice. But the way he is right now, I do like him. Is he the best? Now there are like a few like there are like at least a couple of different figures where it's where you can get like a Gridman figure along with just Samurai Caliber. There are places where you can there are like ways you can please stand up. There are places where you can get variants of Gridman where it's just Gridman and Samurai Caliber, none of the other components, none of the other assist weapons. An example of that being the Figma Gridman. And comparing this guy to one of those, I do say this one is, for size, it's not doing too bad. But with that said, this guy doesn't just come with Samurai Caliber here. He also has the rest of his assist weapons, which I will cover in separate videos. Don't worry. And overall, these two are really nice. But the rest of them are going to be really, really cool. Overall, these two look really nice together. It's like Gridman, he can be a little difficult to stand up with his tiny feet, but his joints can hold up a good amount. It's like, and he has a good grip on the sword. It's a nice little solid Gridman, and I do like that. And he can be fun to mess around with. Even though he's the size of Cliff Jumper. And with that, that'll be it for this. If you enjoyed this video, please consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comment if you want. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later.